Hello and welcome to 7 Minutes of Inspiration with Seven. You're watching me, Latasha Guy. You're either catching me on my YouTube, Facebook, or you're catching snippets on my Instagram. Lately, I have been loading to my Instagram Explore wall so that way you can catch the full video. But again, welcome to 7 Minutes of Inspiration with Seven. My name is Latasha Guy. It is a pleasure to be able to speak with you on today. 3 weeks in a row, I'm batting. Extremely glad for the discipline to be going forward with those things that I said that I would do in regards to my blog and making sure that I'm being more active with my page. And so it is truly a blessing to be able to speak with you on today when I begin to research topics that I wanted to discuss and touch on. The first thing that immediately hit me was we are in the fourth quarter. We are nearing the end of 2019. Many of us put goals out there. I don't like to call them resolutions. I say goals that we put on our vision board, goals that we just put out there mentally. Some of us wrote them down, and we are embarking upon the fourth quarter of 2019. I'm extremely glad some of the things that I've been able to accomplish this year and go forward that my interest was piqued to do. And so I have no regrets over this year and those things that I was very diligent in going for. So today's topic is hustle until it hurts. I didn't come with no notes. I didn't come with no definitions. Today is straight real talk. We're in the fourth quarter. We truly do have to get to that point of hustling until it hurts. The first thing I wanted to do was look up hustle. As y'all know, I'm all about getting to the root cause, the root of the word and what it means. And when I looked up hustle, it just talked about moving hurriedly in a specific direction, going after something that's very important to you. It's a goal, it's a dream, it's a vision that you had, it's something that you knew you were destined or purposed to do, and so you went after it and you hustled until it hurt. It talked about, when you hustle, you're obtaining something by a forceful action. So this thing ain't gonna look pretty. You're going after those things that you want by any means necessary. Many of us set out this year to have side hustles, be entrepreneurs, open up businesses. We started to take our mindset of thinking about multiple streams of income, what things we were gifted at and able to do, we enjoyed doing, and we were in that moment of. And so I would say it's not too late. Again, it's the fourth quarter. If you hadn't started, it's time to get in the game. It's time to get in the game, and it's time to be serious. It's time to mark some of those things off your list. Many of us been planning and planning and planning. I'm telling you, silly stuff from even today, wanting to get on and record my vlog. I was just faced with everything. When you're tired, you should lay down for a minute. You should get some rest. Maybe go ahead and eat first. Knowing all of this stuff is going to distract me. I need to just do what I have to do. It's forceful. Yes, it's forceful because you really have to get to that point when you don't want to do it. You still got to do it. You still got to do it because you promised yourself that this year would be the best version of you, the best that you could possibly be. And so you owe it to yourself to go after it. And if you got to be tired, sometimes you got to be tired, but hustle until it hurts. What you do in this next quarter, honestly, will take your hustle to the next level. We can't, I've said it time and time before, we cannot keep waiting on January to the beginning of the year, to a beginning of a month. We have to go after those things now. I encourage everyone in my household to do a vision board. I encourage everyone in my household to write down their goals. It is very important that not only do you write down your goals, but next to those, you put a plan of attack, because we all have goals we would like to accomplish. Many of us just don't have the plans of attack in place to go after those things. So it's very important that you not only write the goals down for your fourth quarter and do it immediately, but also lay out the plan of attack, whether it's weekly, daily, monthly. What are you going to do daily? What are you going to do monthly to take those steps towards reaching your goals? It's going to take lots of motivation. It's going to take you absorbing and making sure you're pouring things into your mind that are positive. It's going to take you doing what others won't do. I listen to a lot of motivational speaking. One that captures my heart, and I listen to him quite often, is Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas speaks about getting up before other people do. You know, the early bird does truly catch the worm. Getting up and getting your mind focused for the day, laying out the foundation of what it is that you're trying to do, and going for it. You know, a lot of times by the time someone else is waking up and grumpy, you're already in a place of motivating and encouraging and pushing other people. So again, doing what other people won't do. Whether with me, if I was talking to someone that again had that goal of wanting to, you know, start their own channel, put their content out there, motivate, encourage, I would tell them honestly, you got to do it even when you don't want to do it, even when you don't feel motivated. You have to press. A lot of times we're healed in the process of giving back. We're healed and moving forward in our purpose and plans, and not focusing on where we're at today, but truly setting forth those goals, plans of attacks for where we want to go tomorrow. I listened to a blog or a message on this morning. I'm going to call it a blog. I listened to a message on this morning where it talked about the flea, and I believe I was listening to Steve Harvey at that time. He talked about the flea and the ability for it to jump very high and reach its maximum potential. And he just laid it out in the form of a humanistic form of us being able to leap, but sometimes getting caught in those jar situations, because people will catch flies, fleas, bees, everything else in a jar and lit the situation. Something that is used to being free, something that is used to going forward, no limits, no boundaries. Now it has been caged. Many of you guys are in cage situations. You have lids on you. You can't grow. You can't be your full potential. And you really start digging through those channels and avenues to get your spark back, get your fire back, get it back. This is your time to be the best version of you that you possibly can be. It's going to take a lot of drowning out the doubt. Even when your mind is telling you you're too old, you tried this before, it didn't work the last time, no one's going to buy it, no one's going to try it. Let me tell you, 5 years ago, if you'd asked me, would I be going around asking people, what's your heat level? Do you like hot? Do you like mild? In regards to sauces, I couldn't have seen it. You don't know what lies ahead. So there's things that you're uncomfortable in now that God is seeking to make you comfortable in, so he can take you to that next level. So it's not going to always look like what you think it should look like. But you just have to be willing to be flexible and be patient and trust the process. For me, I just had to, make sure that I was refusing to be a statistic. Many years ago. Now, I won't tell my age, but many years ago, I had to decide that I wasn't going to be a statistic by being a single parent. I wasn't going to be a statistic by being a young mother, having a child as a teen. I wasn't going to be a statistic, so there are certain things that I had to become uncomfortable to get comfortable with where God was seeking to take me in life. And so if you don't grab a hold of anything else, many of the things that you're going through and you're uncomfortable in, it is so that you can get to that next level of life. The first thing that I see, because I work with people quite a bit, is change always makes people uncomfortable. The first thing that I see out of people is just like the resistant behavior. Like, why does it have to be this way? I'm so used to things being this way. It's not always going to be what it seems. And so if you got to be uncomfortable for a little bit because of change, be willing to be uncomfortable, because I promise you it is totally worth it. And then, it's going to be very important that you recognize these meaningful connections. Now, we've talked about that before as well. Connections. Sometimes you're leery of connections because you don't really know if those connections have been sent from God, if those connections are ordained for where it is that you're trying to go and what it is that you're trying to do. Trust the process. Use your wisdom. If something doesn't sit well in your spirit, as I always say, walk away from it. It's not worth it. There are consequences for walking into situations that were not meant for you. And so you just have to trust the process. When your heart is telling you something's not right with the situation, take a look. Step back and ask God what it is that you really should be doing. Ask him to send forth the connections. I just spoke with my family about this on earlier. I said the next set of connections that take place over our life, our businesses, and where God wants to take us have to come from him. We can no longer trust that we know what we should be doing and when we should be doing it. So we're asking God to send forth the connections that we should have, that we should connect with, and that we should move forward with, and just trusting the process all along the way. Keeping in mind that hustling to it hurts, because no one sees the bad times, guys. No one sees the bad times. And sometimes, again, with privacy, we've spoke about that before. With privacy, you can't let people see everything that you're going through. You're going to go through some moments of frustration, but I promise you, in the end, it is totally worth it. So keep pushing. And make sure, most of all, even in the midst of hustling, because I know when I always thought about hustling, I didn't just have the best aspect of that word. And so when you think about hustling, hustle with integrity. Don't lose your integrity in the process. Don't lose your integrity to get certain connections, make certain deals go through, to take on certain positions, to sweep things under the rug. Operate with integrity, whether it's in your own personal business or whether you're working for someone else. Operate in integrity, because it will take you so much further. I am very honest about how I handle my day-to-day affairs. And that is because I always want to be known for a person with integrity. And yeah, I know. I don't care what a person thinks about me. At the end of the day, nobody wants to deal with a person that's not integral. So it is very important that you operate with integrity and that people can be able to trust your word. And when you say something, you're going to do it, and that you're going to be a woman or man of your word. So it's been a blessing to speak with you on today. I think I did go over my time limit, but hey, that happens sometimes. That's life. I'm hustling. And so whatever's placed on my heart to put out there, I'm not going to place a time limit on what it is that God has for me to speak about or to put out there. I'm not going to try to make it perfect, because it's not perfect. I'm in my beginning stages. I'm accepting where I'm at, but realizing there is so much more to come. I hope everyone has an amazing end of the week. I leave you with refuse to live less than your best, because that's what you've been called. You've been tuned into 7 Minutes of Inspiration with Seven. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and share this message. If it's not for you, it may be for someone else. Thank you.